Hello and welcome to our final video of 2023. Hopefully this comes out in time. I don't know if I'm going to get it fully edited in time. Sure, look, we'll see. And also excuse the old edgy look with the hood up. I'm not trying to be cool and relive my youth. I am currently very cold and don't want to turn on the heating. So welcome to our final video. As we're kind of wrapping up 2023, I thought it might be a good idea to put on people's radars some new systems that are coming out next year, or just new games that you might not have heard of that came out just recently at the end of last year. I feel like it's always good to widen their TTRPG repertoire. I want to point a few people in the direction of these new systems and hopefully check them out in the new year. First up is Electrum Archive. So Electrum Archive is a science fantasy tabletop RPG which is said on the website to be inspired by games like Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, Ultraviolet Grasslands, Mothership, and Cairn. I don't know how to say that one. It's being developed through designs that detail parts of the world of Orn and add new rules and procedures for you to use at the table. So I didn't realize what zines were. Zines is essentially just like small booklets. That's kind of the way I would think of them. Where for this in particular, each booklet will have a certain section of the world or maybe a certain city or something like that of Orn, which might give you rule sets and encounters and stuff, yada yada yada, to play through like that. It's an interesting way to kind of release the game and just give you a brief kind of like summary of what to expect in this one. The game is set in the world of Orn, a place long ago abandoned by an alien race known as the Elders. The magical ink left behind in the shipwrecks of these ancient aliens is now used as currency and inhaled by warlocks as fuel for their spellcasting. Adventurers called ink seekers venture out into the decaying world beyond the cities ruled over by scheming merchant houses to look for elder artifacts and ink. It's such a fun idea of like your party is just made up of these souped up warlocks and wizards. They're like, whoa, that's fucking good. I just love that idea. Come here, give us a hit of that before we go into this next combat. No, but I'm serious. It's a fun idea. It's currently on sale, the PDF edition, for I think it's $10, which is whatever currency is, probably €8-9 for us over here. But it looks very interesting. I plan on picking this up and seeing what we get ourselves into. The artwork as well is very just simple line work, but it looks really nice. There's something about it. It's very unique. To me anyway, which I really quite like. So the next one we're going to talk about is the Hidden Isle. The Hidden Isle, instead of using dice, which might turn a lot of people off, it actually uses tarot cards, which is very interesting. It's set in the 16th century on a secretive island of Discoria. It focuses on role-playing and collaborative storytelling. And anything to be said about this one from the Kickstarter, the artwork is unbelievable. It's just so stylized, and obviously as I said, it's kind of Renaissance setting, so everything is just fucking gorgeous. Just give you a little bit more of a rundown. So the game is about swashbuckling adventures across Europe and the Middle East, stealing forbidden texts from oppressive regimes, protecting an island of outcasts using ancient magic, toppling empires with just the right speech, just the right time. Very interesting looking system. Not only will the tarot cards determine certain kind of aspects of your players' characters when they're creating them, but there's a section in the beginning which is optional. Well, it sounds like a lot of fun, where the actual the type of villain, the kind of the outcomes if the heroes lose or win, and kind of all these other aspects are determined with like an oracle at the beginning of like your campaign. So it means for the DM, you can actually not know what you're going into in your scenario until you draw those cards and you piece it together as you go along, which is very fun and kind of challenge for yourself as a DM. Or you can go in with kind of like knowing which tarot cards you want to pull if you want to have a little bit more direction. But there's some really interesting uses for the tarot cards in this, and yeah, be sure to go check it out. I think the Kickstarter has closed, but you can pre-order the physical copy for I think it was 60 quid or something like that. Was it? Yeah, €60 for me, whatever that currency translates to for you. Once again, gorgeous fucking book. I imagine just having this book alone. I feel like they get me with the books sometimes. I just like to have them there and flick through them every now and then, see a nice little bit of artwork here and there. I'm going to butcher this one, but the next one is called The Marvelous Children of Inang-uri. Hopefully I got that right. Something interesting I like about this setting is that you're essentially on you live on the back of this. I believe they were chimera. But imagine it just being, for some reason in my head, I just imagine, you ever see the turtle? It's like Is that related to turtle? I don't know. I just got the image of like a turtle with like fucking civilization on its back, sort of thing, and I was like, isn't that in something? Isn't that like there's something about that? World turtle or cosmic turtle, world bearing turtle, tortoise sporting containing the world present. Oh, it's Hindu mythology, Chinese mythology. Okay, so there's been a lot of mythology. So okay, anyway, that's what popped into my head. Not quite that, but so apparently we take place, or the setting is on the back of this chimera, and we don't really know what it is by the sounds of it. Just give you a short description. A world where you live atop a vast, majestic chimera known only as inang-uri. That's work together to build a rich, imaginative setting filled with peril and hope, or race to the top by accumulating prestige, and along the way contend with traitors in the dark. Will you be inang-uri's hope, or will you be her downfall? Which that brings like I have so many questions about it, because I'm like, in my head, I'm like, is there multiple chimeras roaming this land, and you're just like on the back of this one chimera? So maybe they're opposite civilizations that have never contacted each other before, sort of thing. Like, that would be really cool. But once again, this one seems to be getting released in zines, so like different kind of segments and shit like that. So this also has developing an epic chimera atop which civilization tries, but it says collaborative drawing to illustrate the world players live in. So I wonder if that's like you kind of piece together what this chimera is as you guys play through it as well. And there's elements that the actual chimera that you ride in inang-uri that you actually ride upon could potentially die as well, like if the stakes are kind of high enough and different kind of outcomes could lead to it. Interested. So for this one, you can't actually buy at the moment, but there is on the website, there is a mailing list to sign up for, so you're notified when it's available. So next on our list is Shadow of the Weird Wizard. I am always a big fan of almost kind of near apocalyptic type settings, and this has a little bit of a vibe of that, which I find very interesting. So Shadow of the Weird Wizard is a fantasy role-playing game in which you and your friends assume the roles of characters who explore the borderlands and make them safe for the refugees escaping the doom that has befallen the old country. Unsafe are these lands, the Weird Wizard released monsters to roam the countryside. Cruel fairies haunt the shadows, and undead drag themselves free from their tombs. An old, ancient evil stirs once more. So this is actually like a sister project to, I believe, what was it called? Shadow of the Demon Lord. So Shadow of the Weird Wizard is a little bit more kind of, you are the heroes of the story, and you know you plan, like there is a vein in it that you will become stronger and become the heroes of the story. Where, if I remember correctly, the Shadow of the Demon Lord is a lot more like Call of Cthulhu-esque, where death is only around the corner, and you're like fodder being thrown towards trying to get civilization back to a point where you can rebuild and come back from whatever's caused this devastation. So this was developed off the back of Shadow of the Demon Lord, because not everybody liked the tone of Shadow of the Demon Lord, which the developers say Evil Dead meets Diablo, which is very specific. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds right up my alley. So Shadow of the Demon Lord is something else I'm gonna have to look into. But so it looks like they developed this Shadow of the Weird Wizard as a little bit more family friendly, a little bit more kind of maybe generic is the wrong word, but I want to say a bit more generic fantasy, but still having that element of being on the border of your country and like venturing out into these unknown territory to try and build civilization back up. So I guess you have a choice then of either or. Once again, Shadow of the Weird Wizard can be pre-ordered. It was a Kickstarter, but can currently be pre-ordered for $60. So what was that? And again, 50-60 euro. Well, I won't lie to you, I'm a little bit more interested after reading into this one about looking into Shadow of the Demon Lord. Time to traumatize some players again. The next on our list is Ronin, which is another Kickstarter project. This is actually made on the Morkborg. I can never pronounce that correctly. This is made on the Morkborg engine, whatever you call it, system. And as it says on the website, the Morkborg you know and love, disemboweled and resurrected on the island of Agenoshima, death before surrender. Yeah. So welcome to Ronin, a rules-like tabletop RPG set in a mythical samurai-inspired world. Based on the Morkborg system, Ronin is a game of honor, combat, and adventure. In a world ravaged by an eternal eclipse and overrun by supernatural creatures known as yokai, players take on roles of forgotten Ronin, shinobi, onmyoji. We've never seen that one. And more as they seek to restore their honor and defeat the forces of darkness. So this also, Morkborg, I don't know too much about Morkborg other than it is known for being very like brutal and unforgiving. So if it kind of seems, I imagine this will be very similar. Once again, art style is fucking gorgeous in these books. So the setting for this book is also like a kind of blend of Edo period Japan with a lot more fantasy elements kind of woven into it. Once again, this Kickstarter has actually ended, but you can pre-order this at the moment. Well, there we go. A couple of new systems to keep an eye out for, and maybe dip your toes into in the new year. From myself, Horse, and Happy, we hope you have a great new year. We hope you had a good Christmas. We look forward to seeing what the new year brings.
Also, hopefully we'll have a lot more uploads on this channel. We're sorry with how slow we've been. Life just got very busy.
All right, guys. Thanks again. Have a good New Year's. Bye-bye.